Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Our Hollywood.
Sorry.
I literally didn't even let you get a sip
I
in.
know.
We're starting
like,
immediately.
geez.
I'm Daniel,
I'm Kim.
and we have no guests today, like our OG podcasts. And we were gonna do it like separately, but the Wi-Fi was just not working.
My Wi-Fi in my house sucks.
Yeah. So this is
Also, Dad, if you're listening, stop listening. Stop. My dad told me today that he listens to our podcast. I'm like, absolutely not.
No, yeah. The other day, my mom was like, I was gonna play music from her phone, and like the recently listened was like Our Hollywood, and I was like, you need to explain this right now, because I told her not to listen because it just like makes me uncomfortable.
No, yeah, it made me. I literally almost started crying. I was like, please stop.
It's because like
Don't.
then we're gonna think about our parents listening when we're recording, and it's gonna ruin
and then
the
it's
vibe.
not authentic anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
No, because he's like, you dropped so many F-bombs in your podcast, and I was like, and then he said something about white people, and I was like the white savior episode, and I was like,
you're like, yes, out.
I was like, please cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. And he's like, no, I need to know. And I was like, no, you
I
don't.
need to know what.
He's like, I need to get to know you better. And I was like, maybe you can still talk. You could talk to me.
He's gonna listen.
Yeah, I know. Stop. Cut it out. I will start literally every episode being like, Dad, cut it out.
It's not even like we're saying anything unfamily friendly. It's just like gross.
I mean, I'm talking about my family though. A lot of times.
I think I do too.
I talk about my family a lot though.
Yeah, you do. Especially
Yeah.
Please don't listen to the body episodes.
I literally told him, I was like, if actually though, do not listen to the body image episodes. Just don't do it.
Okay. So our little topic today, just a fun little simple topic, is the broke student's guide to making short films.
Well, I'm not a student anymore. We should just be like broke person.
Okay.
When you're titling it.
The broke.
Also, some people don't go to school.
Oh my god. It was just like a cute little name.
I guess.
like,
Me overanalyzing it.
The broke girlies guide. The broke besties guide.
Broke besties guide. There you go.
To making short films. Okay, so Kim and I have both had our fair share of unprofessional set experience. Not unprofessional in terms of like they were not acting.
Like amateur.
Amateur, that's a better word. And so we're here to tell you how it went.
Yeah, and maybe offer some advice.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think we have learned things. And people always ask me like, how did this happen? And I'm like, literally, you just have to do it. And the end. Thank you for listening. Like, literally just do it.
And then figure it out as you go.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
Because
the first step is starting.
Yeah. You literally just have to do it. Like, because everyone has an idea, but then they don't never do it. You just literally have to start. As soon as you start, it'll get going. But first, we're going to talk about what we watched this week.
Okay. Oh my god. So I started watching The Challenge because I realized it was on Hulu. One of the best reality TV shows to ever exist on this planet.
I've never even heard
I
of it.
swear to God. Well, okay. I will save like everything for when we eventually do a reality TV episode. Mm-hmm. And I need to find somebody that is also just like obsessed with reality TV like I am, because oh my god, it's literally everything you could want. It's like not adventure, but like action, because there's challenges. Obviously the name is The Challenge. There's like romance because there's like boys and girls and everybody in between. And then there's also, what else is there?
It's like Survivor. It's
like Survivor meets like Are You the One, because there's Are You the One contestants on it, meets like just like pure on trash, because they'll go out to clubs too. Okay. So they'll do challenges, they'll go to clubs, and then also like people are hooking up like in between, and then like it's like Bad Girl Club too, because sometimes they're like really mean to each other. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's like a spin-off. It came from The Real World and this other show called Road Rules, which was like deep in the MTV archives, but The Real World was very, very groundbreaking when it first came out.
But like why?
Because it was like the first reality TV show to actually have diverse cast, and also like it had like the first person,
Real World.
Yeah, the first person like that was I think he had HIV like currently, and he was like living, and it was really important for the time because people with HIV had been like vilified. Yeah. So it was like a big deal that this person was on. So that's why I really like it. And then it turned like they go from there to like The Challenge, and then now they get people from like Big Brother. They get people from like
house.
Yeah, they're in a house.
I think I've seen this show.
Probably. I feel like everybody's seen it.
Is it like artificial? Like the outside is fake too? I don't know.
It's like a mansion they live in.
Oh, there was this weird reality show where they were trapped inside a house.
Big Brother?
No. Oh, it was called The Glass House. Horrible. One season.
Oh.
It got canceled. And it was like,
this show has been going on. I think they're on like season 38.
oh, so then it's experience.
It's going on forever, and now they're bringing in people from like Survivor, Big Brother, or like other MTV shows because the real world isn't a thing anymore. So they have to pull from everything else, and it's just so good. I've been watching it. Well, I watched it with my mom when I was a kid, and then I kind of like fell out of it because I didn't have cable, and that's the only place you could watch it. And then I saw on Hulu that they had 3 seasons on there, and I was like, oh my god.
The OG ones or new ones?
No, it's newer ones.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're on season 37 or 38 right now because my mom's currently watching the season that's on right now. And mom was like, you're watching Dirty 30? That was so long ago. And I was like, okay, gatekeeper. Damn. I was like, because I was like talking to her about the drama. I was like, can you believe that happened? And she was like, that was so long ago. Like, so much has happened since then. I was like, I'm catching up. Okay. So I watched the entirety of season 30 and I'm almost done with season 31. I only have 1 season to go, but it's going to be on Paramount Plus. I mean, I'm not going to get Paramount Plus, but
I keep saying that, but I also said that about HBO Max. I said that about Disney
but
Plus.
HBO Max went hard.
No, they yeah.
Yeah. HBO Max, please. We're literally on our knees, like begging you. Anyways, so I've been watching that.
For a sponsorship.
Oh yeah, for a sponsorship. Yeah.
You didn't even finish.
But I really love that show. I can't wait to talk about it on a reality TV episode, like in depth, because I have so many feelings about it. And then I watched Moxie today.
Okay.
And whoa, was that like up and down? It was really a roller coaster of emotions. Okay, my synopsis
The Red Bull is kicking in hard.
Yeah, I got a Red Bull because if I didn't though, it would be bad. Like I would be I wouldn't even be here. Like you would be doing the podcast by yourself, to be honest. That's why I needed it. I was like, I need to do this.
Oh, well, it's working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
As it should be. I paid like $3 for it, and it needed to give me the energy. Anyways, so I watched Moxie today. My synopsis is, definitely creeping on white feminism. Absolutely. Definitely girl bossing the Riot Girl movement, which I don't know. But overall, I liked it a lot more than I thought. And also Nico Hiraga is like we needed him way before we needed Noah Centineo. And yeah, I'm really happy that we're making the shift to Nico.
I think Netflix was like, oh, no more Noah.
No, Netflix like has been killing it with like the Asian hotties like recently. And I love to see it. Okay. But also we need some like average looking Asians as well. Because you know how like
average Asian representation.
Hasan Minhaj?
I literally don't know who it is.
You don't know who that
is? Look it up. Wait, are you I hope you're not calling him an average Asian.
No. He says in an interview, he's like, it's either like
Oh, I know what you're saying, like, because like they also because that was nothing came out of it. I watched like I went to like this little like webinar with Rachel Bloom, and she was talking about how like a lot of times Asian characters are like super over sexualized, whether it's guys or girls. I literally don't know who that is.
Oh, his show's really good. It got canceled though. But yeah, he said in an interview, he was like, it's either like you're super buff, super like Henry Golding, like super hot, or you're like the nerdy like side character. There's no like regular looking Asian people.
With the context, that makes sense. Because I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah. And he was saying like, because like there's a lot of like average looking white men in film and television that like are completely fine and embedded in society, but there's like no Asian characters. That's what I was. There's too many.
There's a plethora of average.
You don't need any more.
We really don't.
Anyways, I liked it way more than I thought because everybody has been talking about it. So I
have not seen.
Okay, in my side of the universe.
Okay.
Like I've had multiple people ask me if I watch it.
Why?
Because they really liked it or they really hated it. It was like very polarizing. You should.
Polarizing, pun intended.
Oh, because Amy Poehler directed it. Yeah. Oh, so you can definitely tell that an older white woman wrote it.
You can usually tell.
Yes, with the most peace and love possible.
No, I love Amy Poehler.
Yeah, me too. I just think people are dragging it way too much. Like, I don't think it was meant to be like revolutionary. Yeah. Like, I think it's cool that they're introducing like Riot Girl and that movement to like a new generation, and also, I just hate how they write male characters, like especially bully characters, because it's like a lot of times white men in high school are literally oblivious to the ignorant acts that they're doing. You know, they're not like blatantly. Because in one scene, the guy literally like, opens the girl's Coke and spits in it, and I was like, nobody does that.
For what reason?
To like harass her. To like, you have to watch the movie. It's a really easy watch. And it's yeah, like they're literally
the harassment is in real life is not that thought out,
but ultimately it's supposed to be like a comedy overall. So like, right. I think that's another reason why I'm like, people need to relax, because at the end of the day it's a comedy, so with like some social justice in between, you know.
What do you think of the term social justice warrior? I
don't like how it's been spinned.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, the social justice warrior. I'm like, I don't. Like, why would I not?
Yeah, why is that
be
a bad thing?
Justice or a warrior for social justice?
Yeah.
Like, where's the insult?
I think it's just like, Fox News has just like completely torn up that word.
Someone called me a social justice warrior the other day. I'm like, if you were trying to offend me, that did not work. Are you
trying? Yeah, I was like,
that is a full compliment to me.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, I'm standing up for others. Oh my God. Fucking sue me. God damn.
So weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been better, but I liked it.
Okay, I'll have to watch it because I honestly didn't even know it existed. Oh, just kidding. Yes, I did, because like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did like the heart thing at the Golden Globes.
The heart thing?
Dude, don't be like draw. They did it at the Golden Globes.
I'm able to talk about that today.
Okay. I literally don't think I watched. Oh, just kidding. Okay, so I started rewatching the MCU stuff because like truly I don't remember anything before Civil War. Nothing. Like, it's not even in my brain because that was like 10 years ago. So
also we were like not developed like brain.
Yeah,
our brains were not developed as much.
We weren't thinking about it that hard.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it in like timeline order. So it was like
you and your family?
No, me and Gracia, my friend Gracia. So we started with Captain America. What a boring movie. I'm so sorry, Captain America and Chris Evans. I love it.
But to be fair, Winter Soldier is very entertaining.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet. From what I remember, I really liked it, and Civil War.
Yeah.
But I thought I loved the first Captain America, and then I watched it and I was like,
I'm glad you said it because I've been dying to say it, but I just don't want to get attacked.
I love the character.
Oh yeah, Captain.
Well, he's a little too patriotic for me.
But it's literally military propaganda.
Oh yeah, and also I found out from Twitter that like Marvel has like a deal with the U.S. military.
Yeah, but that's how they're able to like use all that stuff.
I just thought they bought it. Well, again, I wasn't thinking about it that deeply when I was watching the movies as a kid. And then I watched Iron Man 1 and 2. And the
second Iron Man should not exist.
I really liked it. I just really liked how it was like showing the villain was like a product of Tony's like arrogance and like what he did in the first Iron Man. I thought it was interesting.
Okay. That's fair.
I liked them both. Captain Marvel, I think
that's all of Tony Stark's like endeavors, is like all of his inventions come back to bite him.
Yeah. That's like his overarching theme. But yeah, I liked Iron Man 1.
Too smart for his own good.
Is everyone hating on Iron Man 2, or is the third one they hate on?
No, there's the third one that has the child. So I think people like that one because they brought like some humanity to it.
Is the second one the one that everyone hates?
I think so, because it's just
me liking it.
It's okay. Darby likes Cars 2, and I literally have fought with her over that.
I haven't even seen any Cars.
It's literally Pitch Perfect 3, but Cars. It's like
spies.
Yes.
How can a car be a spy? Well, anyway, so I'm going to give you my current MCU ranking, and we'll see if it updates.
Oh, you have like a whole spreadsheet?
No, on Letterboxd. Where is my Letterboxd? Don't go looking for it though. It's not. Well, I don't know. I wish you could make it private. Oh my god, please, Letterboxd, if you're listening, please.
You can't?
No, I don't think so. Not that I've found. I haven't looked that hard, but so my official MCU ranking is.
Oh, you can do that? I didn't even know you could do that.
Fun.
Wow.
So my number 1 is WandaVision, from the ones I've seen, and WandaVision is like
you haven't finished it yet?
No, I did.
Oh.
Wasn't a huge fan of the ending, but it was.
And don't spoil it for me. I'm gonna binge watch it.
Yeah, because
with the Winter Soldier one, I'm gonna do the week to week because now I'm like, oh my god, I have so much content I have to watch.
Oh yeah, honestly, like I don't know if I mean, I'm still gonna do it, but like I don't know if I care that much about those characters.
I don't, but I want to be a part of like the theories.
Okay.
Like I want to know what's going on.
Oh god, I have the theories. Anyway, so my number 1 is WandaVision. Number 2 is Iron Man 2. I don't know why everyone hated it. I really liked it. My 3rd one is Iron Man.
I like all the Iron Man movies.
I
just don't
thought
like,
I didn't, but
really?
watching them back, I'm like, oh, they're fun.
Yeah. If you don't think about like Tony Stark being a complete a-hole and like,
well, he's just like insecure.
Yeah. Well, he has daddy issues.
Oh, 100,000%.
That's the root of all of his issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was my favorite for a while, but now I'm kind of embarrassed to say that he's my favorite.
He's annoying, but like,
especially with the David Dobrik comparisons, I'm like, I don't want.
I literally said that to Gracie. I was like, if David Dobrik was like had at least an inch of a brain, he would be Tony Stark. Well,
David Dobrik stole his personality from Tony Stark. Yeah. You know, like, because I used to be a fan of David Dobrik, and like he literally...
Wait, should we drag David Dobrik really quickly? I really want to. I don't even care. Well, okay, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America.
I don't think we need to.
No, I really want to because I've been like itching to say this.
Okay, can I start since you literally just took a deep breath? I was a former stan.
Me too.
I literally like... It was kind of before his videos like super popping off. I like watched it every single time he uploaded. Like,
from Vine, right? Like, did you get?
No, I knew him on Vine, but it was like kind of towards the beginning of him uploading his YouTube videos that I kind of got into him, and then just over time, I've just been like, I don't know if this is my sense of humor anymore.
But also, his videos went from like harmless little "I'm here with my buddies" to like I'm going to destroy the hopes and dreams of my friends.
That's the thing. Is like he made it was very innocent at first, for sure, and I think that's why we were as in like the collective like fans of him, ex fans of him, or even current fans. I don't know. You got so comfortable with him. And so, like, when he started acting out, you just didn't even think about it because he has, like, this super nice guy persona that you just kind of, like, took whatever he said, like, at face value. And you didn't really question it or anything. So, with everybody, like, I've been watching all the clips that have been, like, resurfacing. And I'm just like, oh, my God, how the heck did he... I'm trying to use less F-bombs. How did he get away with
What was the moment before this? What was the moment where you're watching a video and you're like, this is weird? Like, do you remember? Because I remember mine where I was like, I'm done with this. This is like not out of hand.
No, I think I just was like, this is definitely for men, and I don't think it's funny anymore. Like, it's just very cheap humor, and I don't care. Like, when it all turned into, like, pranks and, like, flamethrowers, I was just like, yeah, it's not. And like celebrity cameos. That's like the newer ones because now he has the clout to do that. But I think mine was when he started doing like these pranks and they started getting more and more like mean spirited. And he did one where like, so they have this friend called Jonah. His name, by the way, is not even Jonah. They call him that because he looks like Jonah Hill, which he doesn't. His name is a fat joke, essentially. What they call him. And his existence to them is a fat joke. Literally, he's the Fat Amy of the Vlog Squad, and it's horrible. And like, do we both have pictures with Toddy Smith? No, this is him doing the Sharknado. Do you remember the Sharknado? No. The dance move that I made up in high school. I was so annoying about it, and then this is Zane doing it. Oh my God. I met Todd and Scott before they even knew David. Like, because I liked them on Vine. Oh, you want to see something? I have a picture of Todd. I'll send it to you. I have a picture with David, and it's disgusting. Both of us don't look good, which is like, I kind of like that both of us look bad in it because it like fits the vibes. I hit it deep in the depth. Oh God! It's on my Instagram, guys. If you scroll down to like the Justice League premiere, but what I was gonna say is, so he has the friend Jonah. He like, I don't remember what he did, what David was quote unquote punishing him for, but like, he wants to be an actor. Jonah wants to be an actor, and so what David? Oh yeah. I literally was like, I truly would press charges against it. So he like made up a fake like. He said that Seth Rogen was like calling him. He had a Seth Rogen impersonator call him and set up a fake meeting for a fake like potential movie role for him. And then right towards the end was when David was like, "Oh, this is all fake." And even in his face, you can see that was like heartbreaking. That's like too much. Like Jonah actually looked really fucking sad. Yeah. What's his real name? I don't even know. Nick. His real name's Nick. And I don't even remember like, because this whole Seth prank, I don't even remember that because I didn't watch every single vlog, but like.
Oh my god, you look so little. Kim is showing me a picture of her and
This is
Todd.
2014.
Is this archived?
No. This is all of my fan pictures.
My feed was like this too.
All of my fan pictures are just open to display. It shows the growth, I think.
That's
if
why
I ever get like a little bit bigger on like YouTube or something, I'm definitely archiving them and making a YouTube video about it.
Okay.
And being like going through my archived Instagram pictures.
Okay.
I have too much time by myself.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in conclusion, David is out of control. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
For listening.
I can't wait for D'Angelo Wallace to make a video about it. He's very well researched.
Yeah.
That's why I like his videos. Because sometimes the T-Spill channels, I'm just like, it's a little too...
It's just a recap.
Yeah.
Like, I like the in-depth analysis.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, we're critically thinking.
Yeah.
You know?
Anyways, that's...
God, we spent so long talking about that.
No, it's not 36 minutes. We were on here.
Okay,
This was open while we were doing the ad read.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, we're going to start doing ad reads on here because we need money to like improve the quality of this podcast with like
and
microphones.
Also trademark, LLPs.
Well, don't say it because someone's gonna.
No.
I don't know.
If you really care that much about us, I think you need to reevaluate like your life choices.
Anyway, so yeah, we need money, so there are gonna be ad reads on episodes starting right now. Anyway, so let's get started.
You can put where the ad reads are.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anchor.
Crazy, so easy, right?
Okay, we finished the ad read. So first we're gonna start with our
like our very no.
Oh, we're not starting.
We should start because ATG was not the first projects we both worked on. So I think we should start with the very first. Well, I only have one other project I've worked on that's like I could talk about.
The 1227.
Yeah. You should talk about the horror one.
Okay, let's do a quick little IMDb for ourselves of short films.
Oh, I only have one.
Mine's 3. It's
12,
no, but and ATG. I'm counting ATG.
Oh, okay, so I have 2.
Okay, so explain.
So I have
really quickly
only 2 short films that I've ever worked on: 1227 and All That Glitters.
Mm-hmm. And then mine was when I made in high school. It was like a Purge fan film. The Purge
good, though.
Blood Ties. Okay,
I like it.
And then the second one I made was Clickbait, and then the third one I made was Clickbait kind of ties into what we were just talking about. So that David Dobrik tangent was not out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because I had to tie it to something. And then the third one was ATG. All That Glitters, for those who do not know what that acronym is. So, what do you want to talk about? What you did on each one?
1227, I was like a producer.
Okay.
And I'll talk more about like what I actually did in a second. And then All That Glitters, I was the originator of the story and the director.
And then for the Purge Blood Ties, I directed and wrote it, which was a lot. And I did not know. And then Clickbait I also directed and wrote. And then ATG I wrote. Initially, it was
and
just...
you produced, to be honest.
Yeah, initially I was just writing, and then I also became set design and producer and just whatever needed to be done.
But that's what ends up happening when you're working on the short film.
Yeah, and we'll get into that.
We'll get into it.
Sorry, doing ATG first.
Well, should we talk about our very first projects?
Like how it went, or what?
Yeah, because I think that sets it up to ATG.
Like your first expectations for what happened.
No. Like talking about what I did on the first film that I worked on.
Isn't that what you just did though?
No, I didn't say what I did though. Like I said I produced, but like there was more to it. I didn't just like, because I think, so basically overall these like titles are way more than what you would actually be doing on a set. Like you definitely take up a lot more like room. So like basically as a producer for this, I was like a location scout. I was like the biggest thing that I did as well. And like you also like help out on set. Like if you need like a script supervisor, if like someone doesn't show up for lights, like you do that. The producer is kind of just like fill in wherever it needs to be on a short film. At least like a school short film. I don't know about like an actual like set short film.
Yeah, this whole thing is just us talking about like amateur short films.
Yeah. Like there were no unions. This is literally we're all just messing around.
Which I'm sure the people listening are not like
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. And so the biggest thing I remember doing for it was location scouting, and there was like a cafe scene, so I had to like research like different cafes in the area. I feel like it's a lot easier to location scout when you're not in LA, because in LA, like they're so used to people wanting to film different places. You have to get permits and you have to.
Yeah.
But when you're outside of LA,
no one cares.
No one cares. And like legal teams, they don't do this if you're actually like,
yeah, cover your ears.
Yeah. Let's pretend like we got our permits and everything's fine. But really all I did was I went in there and I was like, hey, can we use your cafe? And it ended up working out because the people that owned the shop were CalU alumni. So they were like way more than willing to help. But the second one I had to secure was the movie theater. There was a movie theater scene.
Was it Regal?
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. And so I had to ask like my manager, and we had to talk to like the district manager, talk about like what the parameters are. Like we're not allowed to show any logos. We're not allowed to show any workers that are on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to like come like while it was closing, essentially.
Okay.
So that's what I did mostly. And then I also helped. I'm much more like a person that, as a producer, I really like making ideas happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's like, I want to do this, but I don't know how, or like I have this idea, but I don't know where, I'm like the person that I like to figure out, make those visions come to life. That's why I really like producing. And yeah, I remember the biggest set experience that I remember that I was there like pretty much the whole day was at the movie theater, because I was like kind of the lead on that scene. I remember we had to like figure out how to make it look like a movie was playing. So we literally bounced a studio light off of the actual screen. And the other producer, he literally stood in front of the light and like just like moved his hands in front of it, and it looked
so
amazing.
Cool.
It looked so good. And that's another thing, is like you just get creative.
You literally just have to figure things out.
Yeah, exactly. And then like our boom stopped working, so we had to get one of the other girls to get an iPhone and like lay underneath like the seats, like behind them. Yeah.
You know what would be so fun if we like for our YouTube channel, if we like, you know how they do those like directors watch the scene, if we like went back and watched our like director's commentary on our own short films.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do it when ATJ comes out. But and I went one day to the set of 1227. They were doing, I think, some bedroom scenes.
Oh yeah, in Camarillo.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, fun, because that was the first like fancier short film set that I had been on. Because the other two that I had been on were literally just me with a camera.
With your DSLR.
Yeah, and it wasn't even mine.
It wasn't?
Both short films, the camera was not mine. And I just barely got a DSLR. But so the first one I did was The Purge, Blood Ties. I don't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like maybe junior year of high school. Because I asked you, that was junior year, right? Because you were there.
It was my senior year, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was junior year of high school. And I essentially did everything, but I didn't know that I was gonna have to do everything, because I didn't really know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just me figuring everything out. But I guess the core of that would be like writing, directing, producing. But it's not like it was anything that complicated. That was just like, if I have to put a title on it, that's what it was. And we'll get a little bit more into that when we get there. And I did the same for Clickbait. I think ATG was the first where I was like collaborating with other people on the creative aspect of it. Because like for the first two short films, yes, there was other people helping me there, but it was more of like I was telling them what to do. Mm-hmm. Where in All That Glitters, it was like everyone's bringing something to the table. I don't know if that made sense at all. So
there's like more people like to cover the grounds, whereas you were like kind of like your first ones, you were doing literally everything. But
yeah, like each person had their own job.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about All That Glitters. So this short film is not out yet, but it will be out soon, this year.
Yes, this year, 100%.
100% this year.
Over my dead body.
Okay.
Like, it needs to be out this year.
Okay. Calm down at the Red Bull.
It's true, though.
No, yeah, we started filming it in 2019. It is now 2021. So it has been a long time.
Well, to be fair, like, majority of 2020 didn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
No.
It is not on the
we've been working on it for like a year.
Yeah, it literally doesn't count.
No.
It was like a blip.
No, because literally we couldn't do anything at all.
The last day that we were supposed to film the last scene was the day that
COVID was
down.
That was like when everything shut down.
Yeah.
Like people were flying home.
Perfect.
Yeah. We had okay, hold on. Let's start at the beginning. Yeah. We got way ahead of ourselves. Yeah. So basically I had this like little short story that I had written that's like kind of noir inspired, and I've been sitting on it since my freshman year, and every freaking summer I tried to write a script and I just absolutely have no idea how to write a script. Now I have a better idea because I've been like reading scripts, and like it's kind of just choose your own adventure. However you want to write the script is how you want to write the script. There's really no formula to do it, and I thought there was, so that's why I was like, I can't do this. And also I didn't understand story arcs. And so I knew Daniel we hadn't really talked. Like once he went off to college, we kind of like we talked like every once in a while, but like.
I think I was still butthurt about the purge situation.
Really? I didn't know you were butthurt.
It was like, it wasn't like a super butthurt. I was just like, cause I was also butthurt at other people.
Yeah.
But like now I truly do not care because I see how I'm actually glad you were not there. Because
imagine if that was our first project together. I don't think
we would definitely not be recording this podcast right now because that was a disaster from start to finish.
I think it was better that we didn't. Like it seemed like bad in the moment, but like now we're grateful.
It was a mess. But yeah, I don't care at all. Like I literally have no hard feelings about anyone involved in that because I'm like, honestly,
most of them are your friends still. So
I didn't know some of the people that.
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
But yeah, so I got over my anxiety of asking Daniel or asking anybody for favors, and I was like, I need help. Can you please like write this? Like, I want to submit it to film festival.
Also, the way I knew you wanted it, because she had brought it up to me like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, well, at that point I was genuinely trying to figure it out by myself, and I don't like asking anybody for favors, like or help or anything at all. So. Because I had already asked you, and then I was like, maybe he would. And then I was like asking my friends, I was like, do you think my friend would want to? I don't know.
What? You asked other people if.
Yeah, because I couldn't make decisions for myself. I was very anxious all the time in the beginning of college. Anyways, so I got back from my study abroad. I had like my coming of age moment. And then I was like, we need to get things done. Like I want to experience things. Like I've been spending 2 years in college and I haven't even like really helped on a film at all. Like let's go. Like we're gonna regret our time in college. Like we're spending way too much money to be here in the first place. Let's do it. So I asked you to adapt it, and we like did it.
I remember when I was like, as soon as you told me, I was like, okay, great, let's get started, because I was already thinking about this.
Really?
And like, yeah, because like I remember when you were writing that story, you asked me to spell check, like to look.
Oh yeah, I did.
Before, so
I'm shit at grammar.
Yeah, these characters were already in my head, and then I remember when you told me that you were like adapting it, I was like, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to like impede. Wow. But I already had like, I was like, we need to add this character, blah blah, like this, switch this up a little bit. And I think the biggest thing that that I wanted to, I don't know if, like that I wanted to change a little bit for the short film version was the ending. But once I explained it to you, you were on board. It was like, she's gonna say no.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that was Mean Kim. I had more experience with Mean Kim before the short film. So I was like, Kim is literally gonna say no to this idea.
Kim was bitter.
Yeah. And then I explained it to you and you're like, okay, that makes sense. And I was like, oh, fun. Great, I'll write it. And then
because I literally didn't understand how to adapt it into like a 3-arc narrative. Like I had no clue. So yeah, and then I pitched it to my film club, and then the rest is history. Not really.
Well, okay, step by step. So first, I don't know what you did before this, but my first thing for the thing, other than writing it, was the auditions.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know about you, but as soon as we saw each of the people we casted, I knew we were going to cast them.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So casting was so hard for me because I had been sitting with these characters for literally like 3 years at this point. So I already had like an idea of what I want to look them to look like, you know, but my school is very small and there's not that many actors at my school. So I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find somebody that I had like, that fits this character in my head, especially like Jesse, because he's like the older character. So he had to look a little bit older than everybody else. And I was just like, I don't know anybody. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then, so we had auditions, and for our main character, Vivian, also fun fact.
Did we do it in character order? How did we do that?
No, it was just like people signed up on the outside and we just kind of went down a list. Fun fact, the main character, Moxie, that we were talking about earlier, her character's name is Vivian, but spelled differently. But I love that name. And we had gone through so many people, and I was just like, I don't know, like if anybody has like
Kim was so stressed because we had already like kind of fan casted, like each of the people that were holding the auditions, we had each had like our own little idea of who we.
I don't think we talked about it though.
No, but everyone, I had it written down. Darby had it written down.
Oh, really?
We all had like thoughts about like who we wanted. Like I had a little star next to like the Joshes and like.
Oh yeah.
And so we had that for everyone except the main character Vivian, and Kim was like, I literally don't want any of them. Like flat out. I was like, Kim, I think they can hear you, because like we were in a little like, I don't even know.
But it was a studio, doors closed, and
it was still stressing me out. I was like, Kim, and
she was soundproof.
Oh yeah, it's 100% not soundproof. But Kim was like, I literally didn't like any of them, and I was like, okay, like we were gonna stop them, weren't we?
Yeah, we were literally. It was like, because it was about closing time. I was like, I gotta go to sleep. Like I gotta do homework. Like I gotta go. And then at the last minute, these two girls came.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing before, but they came.
They were at work, I think. That's what they said.
I don't know. And then they came in. The first girl came in, and I was like, oh, okay. And then the second girl came in, and I was like, you could tell on my face already, like
on all of our faces.
We were like,
we had no poker face at all.
Yeah.
Which you should, but we didn't.
Yeah, I'm really bad at poker. If I'm liking it, like I need you to know. And the funny thing is, I talked to her after Riley. I talked to her after, and she was like, I didn't think I did good at all. Like I thought I completely killed it, like in a bad way.
No, as soon as she got in, like, I'm not even kidding. As soon as she walked in, I was like, I know we're gonna cast her. I literally was like, I know it.
Yeah, because I've seen her around campus before, but I never talked to her. But like, she was one of the people I was like, I hope they come into auditions.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know any of these people, so I couldn't like. I knew one girl and I asked her to come in and like audition, but like, I didn't really know any people that were actors at my school. And I always saw her around, and I was like.
Well, who came in with Riley, the girl that we cast as Oh, we didn't cast her?
No, I casted her in a different thing though.
Oh, okay.
But she was also really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like the hardest thing. I literally was like having a stress all the time about it.
She was. I remember I was like, I don't know.
Because that character means like the world to me.
Yeah.
And Riley killed it.
She absolutely did.
She embodied that.
Also, I noticed in the last podcast that I say absolutely way too much, so I'm gonna stop.
I say a lot of words way too much, but I try to make it like easy to follow. I don't want to use like a ton of big words.
Yeah.
I
just think me saying absolutely is really annoying.
I say 100% a lot.
I think I say that too. And so that was the auditions, and as soon as that like got started, everything was like, okay, now It
was so funny watching, because we recorded all the auditions. It was so funny to like look back at all the people to like refresh our memories and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot we recorded them.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It's super fun. I think auditions are like kind of one of the funnest things.
By far.
Yeah.
Because you also get to see, because like we gave each character a little like monologue that each of them had. Yeah. That each of them had in the script. And so it was really interesting to see how different people interpreted different things.
Yeah.
I was like, I
never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
And it was also hard from like a director standpoint, like giving people notes, because I had never done that before. I literally didn't.
No, who was it? Someone was like, oh, any notes? And I was like, we're supposed to give notes? I thought they just came in, said it, and left.
Okay, that's another thing. You should always do it at least once with notes.
Yeah.
Like giving the person direction, and that also helps you as a director to see if they can take direction which is like a huge thing that I learned. Not like out of this project, but like other projects. Like I didn't realize how important that was to give the notes.
Yeah.
Because you want a person that can take the note. Because like imagine like going on set and
they do it the exact same.
Yeah, over and over again, no matter how many notes you do.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember. So like our character of, I'm not remembering his name, the evil one. Jesse.
He went through like 3 name changes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't even remember. Bo one of them? He had a weird name.
It was Blaze.
Blaze. And so Joshua came in to audition for. Did he audition for? No, we switched him. He auditioned for the other character.
Because I didn't have Jesse on the table.
Yeah.
Because he's the older character, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah, and so he came in and he did the audition for the other character, and I was like, hold up. Let's ask him to audition for the other one. And then he did. And literally we were all floored. I remember when he did the Jesse monologue. As soon as he left, I was like,
it's like
so it's him, right?
Like the most important scene for that character. And he bodied
I literally was like scared.
Chills.
I was like, oh
yeah.
my, because like it felt real.
Yeah.
Like a little too real. I was like, I'm scared. And so I don't know. I just think it was perfect. And also the other character, the other Josh played. Oh my God! It's been a year.
Hold on.
Whatever. Noah. So the other character of Noah, who plays like the love interest, essentially. That's not how I had imagined him at all. But as soon as he started acting, I was like,
I totally forgot about. We literally rewrote the character.
Yeah,
because he wasn't not a big character at all. He was maybe in like 2 scenes.
Yeah,
like it wasn't a big character at all. And then when he came in and read. I was like, when he walked out, I was like, we need to give that kid
before
more
we
lines.
even had casted him. Kim was like, add him more scenes.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, like, which I think helped the story a lot.
It helped it so much.
Yeah.
Like it definitely gave it a layer of depth to it because like I feel like it's like a very when you're in the world with like Vivian and Jesse, it's very much a different type of energy.
Yeah.
And I wanted the parallels, and I didn't know how to do that. And we did it with like kind of like a love interest.
Also he was great, not only because like he gave the character a new life that we hadn't really considered yet, but also like there's this one scene where I was like, I literally don't know what I want him to say here at all. So like figure it out, because I literally like I couldn't because I didn't want it to sound cheesy, and I wanted it was like a
romantic kind of scene, like this is like the part of the movie where you're like, like,
that's what he is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I had written like I think like 60 different lines, and I was like, every single one of these sounds like a Hallmark movie line, and so I didn't want any of them, so I left it blank.
And I didn't even notice until the day of. I was like in the back of my head because you were thinking about so many things. And then it just like completely, and then we got there, I looked at the script, I was like, we didn't come up with the line.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, I was like, did you? Because I told him in the beginning, I was like, we don't have this line of dialogue yet. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But like, simmer on it. Whatever you think the character, like, we totally want your input in it too. And then we got there and he was like, actually, I do have a line. I don't remember it right now.
I don't remember the exact line, but I remember you sent me the video and I was like, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You have to watch the movie.
Yeah, when it's out. But
figure it out.
So yeah, I think that
I was literally floored. And I think that's another thing is like trusting your actors like for real, because and allowing them to have the room to like get creative, especially like on an amateur set, because a lot of times they're doing this for free and they're just looking for experience on a set and also stuff for their reel. So it's good to have like running different types of tones with them, giving them kind of different motivations and seeing what fits best. Especially you want more on the editing floor than less. Because imagine you get to the editing floor and then the scene does not match that line. And
I don't have to imagine. It's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's important to have at least 4 good takes. In my head, on an amateur set, I feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah, it is, especially because like everyone's tired like a lot of the time. I don't know, but we'll get into that more in a little bit of our tips. But so after we did the auditions, after Kim emailed everyone, was like, you got the part. The first scene we shot was the opening scene. And it was on Hollywood Boulevard, which
we also did not have permits for.
Location scouting.
I think I went to that spot literally 3 times before we filmed
I was there the other day, like almost a year exactly to the day that we shot it, but I didn't realize it.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I was like, oh my God, this is weird. Because I saw the Fonda Theater and I was like, why do I know what this is? And I was like, oh my God, this is where Rule or whatever his name was playing.
Rule.
Because like, so I guess
I still don't know who that is. I think he's a singer.
He's like a little blonde boy.
Okay.
He's like a Shawn Mendes type. But so the first scene has the Hollywood sign in the background, and it's outdoors. So this was already a huge situation. And like
we had literally no control over the environment.
No, yeah. And we showed up, and the little street that we wanted was right next to a line of teenage girls who were in line to see Rule. And I was like, oh my God, because I just assumed we would have like the street to ourselves, which is stupid because it was Hollywood.
I didn't even think to check like the shows.
Because like, why would that cross your mind? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but starting to talk and then taking a sip of water. So we did that scene, and it was the first day, so it was kind of a mess.
As it will be.
Yeah.
The first day on any set is going to be a mess, especially when you're working with new people that you never worked with before, usually, especially in an amateur set. Like, you're just kind of trying to figure out the dynamic.
Okay.
Like, what's going on.
That's a better word.
Yeah. The vibes.
Because, like, I didn't know anyone except Kim. Mm-hmm. And so, like,
you were very much social butterfly that day.
Well, I used to be, it's because that was like your first experience with college, Daniel. Because like high school, Daniel would not talk to anyone. And then I got to college and I was like, well, that's not a choice. That is literally not an option that I have.
Yeah.
So like, you just have to be a social butterfly. Like if you're shy, literally stop.
You make it.
Yeah. No, it was it was not like not horrible. It was stressful, but like it worked because almost all the people that worked on that project have been on our podcast.
Yeah.
Like we're still friends with them. We're like, we would work with them again. So like, I think that experience was very helpful. So we started shooting. I don't want to go day by day for each like scene that we shot, but like
I just want to talk about the big scenes. I guess is like
what do you consider the biggest set piece? Because like
the outdoor restaurant.
For me it was the house.
Oh, okay. I think for me it wasn't because I've filmed in that house before. So I was kind of like familiar.
Well, I think for like the reason I thought it was like that was because these are the 2 scenes that are in the house are the 2 most important scenes.
Okay.
So like,
oh my God, the day. Hold on. Keep
going.
Say
it. That was it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like when it's like the climax of the movie, I had like such a sick lighting design idea in my head, and then when I saw it come to life, I was like literally about to cry. It was my favorite day on set. I literally had so much fun in that. Well, that was like my second favorite day. My first favorite day was the intimate scene with Noah and Vivian. That was like my first favorite because everything was just like falling into place. That was like the only day that everything went right.
Yeah.
But the light, oh my God, I just love lighting design so much. And that's another thing, another note on like making a short film is like sometimes you'll have to compromise like your idea because it's just not practical with the skill set around you. And that's not like a diss at all because I didn't have the skill set either. I could not tell you how to make it a noir set. It's just kind of something you have to learn as you go. And I think if I could go back, I would absolutely take a little bit more time to figure out the lighting myself so I could do it just from my own knowledge, because it's something that I really am interested in. I've always been interested in like noir, very harsh lighting. And I would like to do that eventually, like actually. But I was in college. I was in my senior year. So like I really did not have time. I had like 2 jobs.
Yeah.
It just was not practical for me. But if I had the time in the world, I would.
I think the energy of the film is still very noir.
Oh yeah,
which I guess you guys will see when it's out.
We're trying not to spoil.
Because I'm trying to not say a single thing about the scenes. I'm just like the house scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess this will make more sense once you actually see it. But so yeah, we shot everything. I think the biggest challenge. Well, what was the biggest challenge for you in general, without attacking anybody?
I don't know how to say this. I think for me it was having some people not understanding the vision that I had, and I think there was a lot of factors that played into this. I just think generally we did not get along in general. And I just think we're not each other's type of people. And I just won't be working with that person again. And that's completely fine. It is, though. Like, you have to work with people to know that you don't want to work with them again. Yeah. And I'm sure we're going to have different lives, and he's going to work with other people. Oh.
Okay. So if you haven't noticed, Kim is talking about a very specific person. So, like, on set, overall, I think our crew was about 20 people, right?
I would say like 12, like 10. It was
like my 10. God, I overestimated.
Yeah, I was like,
well, there was randos sometimes.
Yeah, I counted like two randos. Okay. So like between 10 to 12.
Yeah, which is a lot.
I think on our best day we did have 20 because we had to have extras.
Yeah, in the dinner scene. So I think obviously you in a given room with 12 people, you will probably not get along with at least one of them. Hopefully not more than one, because then that's something else.
I think for me, though, it was like the hardest thing because it was like a person that I absolutely had to put like kind of all my trust in. So I think that's why I was so emotional about it, because we just had very different communication styles. I think it's fine.
Yeah, just say he. It's okay.
It's like I'm trying to be as respectful about the situation as possible because I definitely don't want any ill will towards this person. I just think we are not meant to be partners.
And that's okay. Like, oh my God, I just remembered that I worked on another short film.
That's what I was talking about with the horror one, and you.
The one with Devin.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. But you talked about Purge, and I was like, okay, I guess.
Well, because like that was my first experience, so I counted that.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it. That's why I was like.
No, I do.
Okay.
It's like your picture with Todd Smith. Like I accept it as a part of my history.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, before you go on that, I think, yeah. Okay, hold on, because. I think also on my set, usually directors have like their own camp, right? They usually have like their own screen so they can see what the camera is capturing. I did not have that luxury.
Which you probably won't if you're making a short film. I give 90% chance you will not have your own screen.
Although next time I do a short film, I am making it a priority, like because of this experience. And and I just feel like it's good practice in general as a director, because right now I kind of have no idea what my film looks like, and that literally keeps me up at night. There's only so many times you can explain yourself, I guess.
Yeah, if there comes a point where you're like, this person is not going to understand my vision, and if this was a professional environment, fire them. But in this situation, every person is like, again, we're talking about like if you're the director or writer or whatever, this person is giving their time to like help your vision come true for free, and they're giving their time. And so you don't really have the luxury of quote unquote firing people or telling people you don't want them to like do it, because you really can't spare any extra hands. And I think that's what made it harder. So yeah, that's pretty much all that goes. We can't really say much about it again because it's not out yet, so we'll probably go more in depth about it once it's out, because then we'll have everything, like things will resurface in our brain.
Yeah, because right now I'm like, I haven't seen anything about that film in like a year.
No, neither have I. We literally couldn't even remember the names. Like that's the characters, how unfresh in our brain it is. So we have some tips and tricks, kind of just things that we've learned, that if this is your first experience making a short film, you definitely need to know. And it's things that I wish I would have known, things that Kim wishes she would have known, that a lot of things you won't really learn until you experience them. Like we could say them to you 1,000 times, but until you experience it, you're really not going to learn it.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to be in the moment to understand what we're talking about. But
that's definitely another thing is like, no matter what type of advice you get, you kind of just have to do everything on the fly.
Yeah.
You're just making it up as you go.
Literally. Yeah. So the first one is come up with a concept. So these are kind of in steps. Some are not. So a lot of people are always like, oh, I want to make a short film. Here's my idea. And I'm like, okay, so write it. Because someone said this, don't know who said this, but they were like, an idea is just an idea until you put it on paper. And like, even if it's just, because my writing process is all over the place, but like sometimes I literally have to write it out on my notes app to even start thinking about it deeper. And then just making an outline of what you want to happen, making motivations for each of these characters. And like, I could do a whole other thing on writing, but like just getting it on paper is the most important thing, because once you have it on paper, you can show it to people and be like, okay, I want to make a short film. This is the short film. And so if you don't have that and you just go to people with an idea, it's not really as tangible.
Yeah. I feel like maybe at least how I deal with it is I have the concept, right? And then I think that for me, everyone's process can be different. Yeah. But I start with the characters and the motivations of the characters. Like at the beginning of the movie, we're this place at this character, and at the end of the story, we're here with this character. Yeah. How do we get from point A to point B?
Yeah, same. And
kind of like a middle point for like the climax, especially with your main character. What needs to change in order for that change to happen?
Yeah. Because I think for me, like if the characters aren't interesting, and if I love character-driven stories more than like situational stories. I think. So that's why I like Kim said, like I start with the character and then put them in a situation that this person would not usually be in. So like I learned this in one of my screenwriting classes, but it was like take people that don't go well together and then put them in like a crazy scenario or like a weird scenario that they would not usually be in. So like for example, what's like a well-known movie? Let's do Knives Out. So Knives Out, like it's just a little family that like it's just a family that has problems with each other, you know?
Yeah, an old money family.
Yeah, like that's nothing new. However, their grandpa is quote unquote murdered, and now they have to find out who keeps the money. So like you're putting these characters. Knives Out is a very character-driven movie, and it has like 10 characters, and it still works, and you understand each character's motivations.
Yeah.
And like if you start with the characters, then the story will just come along. And like you need that concept again, because that's kind of like what.
And it'll help you with like dialogue and how they interact with each other, why they're interacting the way they do with each other. And I think that also helps to make kind of like a mini character analysis of like the relationship between two characters, that they're going to be like interacting a lot.
Yeah.
At least starting off. I don't know. Everybody's process.
And again, every story is different. Like this might not apply to you at all.
Yeah.
And you just have to deal with it as it goes. But in terms of short films, I've seen short films where it's like one thing happens and it's like in a span of 3 minutes. There's no dialogue.
Those ones amaze me.
Yeah. Because I could never. Love a narrative.
Yeah.
And so
I literally breathe and live for narratives.
Me too. I don't think no short film that I've made has been less than like, even the one that we made with Devin that I blocked out, like it was supposed to be like 5 minutes, and I literally kept adding like backstory and like context. I was like, okay, but this character's relation, they were like, it's literally not that deep. And I'm like, but if you make it that deep and you show it in context clues, it will come across and it'll make your short film better. So it is that deep, I say to those people.
It's as deep as you want it to be.
Period.
This part is important.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me just say that real quickly. But adapting a short story, like let's say some people are just not writers, and that is literally 100% fine.
Me.
Yeah, it's fine. And there's so much content for you to make. Like
you can still be a successful filmmaker and not have like original stories. And also, what is it you said? Like there's not even there's only how many?
There's 36 plots
in
the world, they say. And so you could just take one of them and run with it. Or like there you have a friend who writes, or there are literally like hundreds and thousands, millions of short stories out there that you can adapt.
Exactly. And also like some people write and they don't want to direct.
Yeah. And so just a little resource that I have is Stephen King on his website has like a list of short stories that he has available for $1. So you can purchase it's not the rights. It's like you can purchase like a permit to film it. And the only rule is that you have to send him a copy. Which is so cool. Yeah. So if you're into like horror,
that's kind of cool. I didn't know he did that.
I don't know if it's $1 or a penny, but it's like super cheap. Like it's for students. And so if you want to make something that has a name attached to it, because it also makes it more discoverable, because it's like an adaptation of a Stephen King story, you can do that. And I'm sure there's other authors that have some kind of program like that. But yeah, just look around and there are stories out there. And then the main thing that we wanted to get with this little tip was the less characters and settings, the easier your life will be.
Yeah, that was like the biggest thing I was telling people, because I was like president of the film and television, co-president of the Film and Television Club, and I would always tell people, I would be like, I know you want these crazy sets and you want to do all of it.
Yeah.
But I'm so sorry. You're gonna need to boil it down for right now.
Yeah.
And it's not to say like you can't do the same story, but with what you originally intended later in life.
And if you do insist on having a lot of characters or a lot of settings, pick just one. So like ATG has a lot of settings, but 4 characters.
Yeah.
4 core characters, and 2 of them you don't even see that much. It's basically 2 main characters.
Yeah.
Whereas the short film that I made, Clickbait, has I think like 6 or 7 characters, and the whole thing takes place in a house with like flashbacks and like flash forwards every now and then. But it just makes everything easier because if you have a lot of settings, then you have those 2 actors and you can take them to all these places, and it's very simple. And if you have a big cast and you have it in one house, perfect. All you need to do is get that cast to the house, and that's it. But if you have like 6 settings and 6 characters, that means you need to find a way to get 6 people to each of these locations, and that's not including your crew. So it's just you can tell stories with minimal settings and minimal characters. If anything, it will make you get more creative because you have limitations, and I think it just makes it either more it can be more character driven, I think, which helps your story a lot. So tip number 2, which I learned in one of my classes, was to create a budget. So for the 2 short films I made, I had like 0 to no money. Oh, that's literally 0. I mean, it's like little to no money. And it's hard, but it's doable because you can find things around your house. You can ask people for things. You can go to the Dollar Tree, the 99-cent store, and they have things that will make your short film look nice without spending too much money. When you start getting with these big concepts and stuff, it starts getting a little more pricey. Like ATG, we didn't really spend that much money on props, right?
I spent a lot of money.
The only time I bought all the stuff for the dinner scene, I mean the outdoor scene, because like we didn't have like plates or anything. So like I ran to Dollar Tree and we got a bunch of plates, a bunch of like cups, a bunch of fake food. Like we bought like grape juice to put as wine. And then we dressed the setup really quickly. But that was nothing more. That was like maybe $20.
Hold on. I created a whole budget for ATG and I asked for funding from our student government. So we had money. But did I keep track of it? No, because
What ate the most from the budget?
Props.
Really?
Clothing. Yeah. But the thing is, I like to secondhand shop for like everything. And my school has like a really weird rule that you can't do that.
Why?
And I didn't know that. I don't know, because I guess they can't actually track what you're getting because it's not like it's not invoiced, which like I get from like a business standpoint, but it's like you can't buy alcohol at the thrift store. Like, what the hell? Anyways, I had a pretty decent budget, to be honest. I think a lot of it also went to food as well. But I think for me, the biggest part was the wardrobe, because I am very much particular about the wardrobe.
Yeah, the wardrobe is very specific. You will see.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make videos about it once
it's out.
Yeah, or like leading up to it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I wrote, if you have $20 to make this $20 work, like there's no way around it. Like I for the other 2 short films, I think I maybe asked my parents for like $10, I think, for the Purge, but I don't like asking people for money. So like for Clickbait, all the clothes that the characters wear, I told them my vision and they got it from their own wardrobe, from their own clothes. And I think for the Purge, it was all thrifted clothes. So like you really just have to get creative. You can't go to expensive stores and like get all these very specific. Don't do a period piece. Number 1, don't even think about it right now.
Basically, for the budget, you can make a lot work with no money.
Yes, I think people always are like, oh, I don't have money. I'm like, you honestly don't need it. You
think about the people around you also. It's hard asking for favors. Trust, I don't like asking people for anything, but especially there's people that are more than willing to help you 100%. Like with cameras, like with equipment, you never know who's gonna have what. And also, if you're sitting here listening, like, I don't know anybody that has like anything at all, make connections on social media. You can find people on Instagram, you can find people on TikTok, you can find people on LinkedIn that are Facebook that are similar to you and make those connections and like network, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here to do, is to create. So the worst thing that they're going to do is just not respond, and you'll forget about it in like a month.
Literally will. Like the first short film I made, the original people that were supposed to make it is not the people that are in the final product. And I think it happened with Clickbait too. It happened with every single one of my short films where like the original cast and crew is not the ones who actually ended up making it. And I think you just really have to keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's budgeting. Very, very important. This is like one of the first steps you have to do. Like if you know something's going to eat up your budget, get started on that, because
have one person dedicated to the budget, and it should be a producer.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so casting. So the thing I wrote was like, it's okay to cast friends, but also look in other places. And then I was watching this other thing, and it was like, be sure to go for auditions, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. If you like have no one for it, do it. But I also think working with an entire group of strangers when you don't know what you're doing is kind of risky, especially because like I'm glad the first 2 short films I made were with people I knew, because if I had gotten actors or whatever, people that actually wanted to work in this, I truly do not think they would ever want to work with me again, because those 2 short films were a disaster. But I'm glad they were my friends because they knew how I think. They just know me, and so it was easier for them to understand. I think
for like your crew, that's more important. I think the actors kind of like can be kind of whoever. Well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
For your first one, I would say use your friends, just because it's for experience and it's not that professional. It's not that deep, you know?
Okay. I didn't have any of my friends as my actors.
Yeah, but you had like a lot of equipment, and like it was a little bit more professional. Mine was like a DSLR. That's it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm glad that I used, they were just people I knew secondhand.
Yeah.
Now they're my friends, but I didn't really know them that well. But I wanted to use like actors for my first short film, and no.
That's just kind of like not a reality if you're in high school doing it, I think.
Yeah.
I think when you're kind of college age, there's more resources too, and I think people will take you a little bit more seriously. They won't take you as seriously in general because it's still an amateur film, but if you go on like backstage, and stuff like that, you know, which also backstage is like hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
I've never used backstage.
Oh my god, it's literally so chaotic, because a lot of times people will show interest, and then when you message them about it, they don't answer, or like you'll schedule a audition, they don't show up. It's just like, I have not had good experiences with backstage, but it works for other people. I mean,
again, literally just it's whatever works for you.
Just try it. It doesn't hurt to try it, and a lot of these things are free. So, and also just asking your friends, like talking about it with people is a great way to cast people as well. Because I was looking for my Jessie, and I was like, I need an older person, and I was talking to literally anybody that listened to me. I was like, I'm making a short film. I need this person. Do you know somebody like that could act? Do you know somebody? And I found a couple more people that way. So just talking to anybody that will listen also helps. Be open to change. Very much important.
This might be the most important one.
This is the most important one. Because it's never going to go as smooth as you think it is. And if you think there's going to be delays, there's going to be even more.
Everything's going to go wrong.
9 times out of 10.
I can guarantee you everything's going to go wrong. And like, you're still going to get a short film out of this.
Yes. It doesn't feel like it at times, but you will. That's
what I wish I had known for my first 2 short. Well, for my first one. Because the second one, I was like, been here, done that. I know this is going to be a disaster. But I'm okay with it. Like, the chaos is fun. And so I think you need to know that like everything's going to go wrong, and it's fine. You will be very stressed, but it's a good time, you know?
I think, okay, so for...
That sounded not like encouraging at all, but it's fun.
So for ATG, a lot of things went wrong. Let me just be frank about that. The biggest thing that went wrong was a pandemic. So we were literally one scene away from literally wrapping the whole thing. And then COVID just kind of, nobody's dealt with a pandemic in this lifetime. So it was like chaos. Like people were just flying home to get home while they could, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, we kind of just when the pandemic hit in March. It's March right now. It's literally almost been a year exactly since our last shoot date. March 15th was our last shoot date. How crazy is that? Oh my God, the day that this podcast goes up has been a year since we filmed anything for ATG.
Oh my God.
How crazy is that? So from then until probably like November 2020, standstill.
It was like radio silence. Like
couldn't do anything. Like we had chats here and there, but ultimately there was kind of nothing we could do. And then I think around
because originally we were like, we'll be back in 2 weeks and film the last scene.
Yeah. It was a week. It was a week later. We had I had it booked, but then I was like, I don't think we can do it.
Well, that was very wishful thinking of us, but we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, no one knew what was going on.
And so again, like everything went wrong. We had that scene missing. So like we did figure it out. Now I think I rewrote an entire section of it.
Yeah, we had to exactly. That's what I was getting to. Like, even though, and it was like hard because it was one of the most important scenes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how we're gonna fix this. And then Daniel was like, let me think. And then he thought it and he told me, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how you thought of that. But yes, immediately yes. And I think it honestly makes it better, to be honest.
I liked it too.
I like it a lot better than the original scene because it just adds another layer to the character.
It also tells a story in a completely different way. It's the same scene from a different perspective, which I literally would have never thought of if there was no pandemic. And I think it makes it a lot less cliche.
Yes, 100%. It adds a little bit more pizzazz. That's why I wanted to talk about that, because I wanted to like add like and that note on like a high note, because I don't think if this had happened, we would have gotten a better scene out of it. So it's okay if things go wrong, if like a location falls through, if a person falls through, something happens, and it will happen. Don't panic. I know.
We love character development.
Firsthand, I know. Yeah. I panicked. That was my first response. Panic, rage. Don't do it.
Me too. For my first short film, I think I gave up like twice.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, no, we literally have been spending weeks on this. We're gonna finish it.
And I think when you're the director, it feels like all the pressure's on you to like keep it going. But sometimes, which kind of leads into the next thing, you have to rely on the other people around you to be like, hey, I need like 5 to like breathe, and I will come back. Can you I need you to do this, like delegating basically, which leads us to the next point, which is it's okay to enlist reliable friends. And I think another thing I wish I could go back, and it's like, it's fine. I'm just going to take these experiences and put it into my next film. Yeah. And
like, this is not going to Sundance,
no, exactly. And like, it's going to be a funny little note whenever I'm on like a Google interview, like whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're just manifesting.
What did Kim do for? It's like the one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. What was Kim's first film ever? But I think what I wish I did was, because I have a really hard time asking for help, a really hard time expressing my feelings. I'm definitely a lot better now.
Oh yeah. But, sorry, that was too enthusiastic.
No, but it's true. Yeah. I was a freaking tornado. Like, it was bad. I don't know how I still have friends from this time. I really don't. And so thank you to the friends. But I wish I was more willing to take a step back, I think, because I felt so much pressure as like a woman director, as my first time directing anything. And I already had like other things happening around me that were making me feel not worthy enough. I think I got super defensive and about my film, so it was kind of hard to like let up the reins.
Yeah, which makes sense, because it's like, this is your vision, and it's hard to let go of that and let other people share it and add their own thoughts to it.
Definitely, like at the beginning, I would be, someone would like suggest something and I'd be like, no, but now I'm like, please suggest, and I'll actually be like, yeah, or I'll think about it and be like, I don't know about that, but maybe we could do that, which I think is it is a much better way to communicate in general.
And also, like, just keep in mind that it's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, this is a learning experience, not a Marvel movie. The more hands on deck, the better, no matter the experience. Like sometimes you literally just need someone to go get everyone water, and that does not make them less of an important like, because then the next day they might be directing a scene because you have to go do something. Like, it's the more people you have that understand what you need to get done, the more smoothly it is to run. And this was another thing I wrote, working with strangers is great, but it also helps to work with people who understand how you think. And I think the example I'm going to bring up is All That Glitters, because I had never met any of the other people other than Kim. Yeah, I had never met anyone. I don't even think I'd met Darby, but I've heard about her like for 2 years, but I had never met her. And not to brag about myself, but I think that me being there helped because
you were the literal only person that could like talk me down from a ledge. Also.
Yeah, because like, again, when it's your first short film and you want things to go a certain way and they don't, it's hard. And so I had already experienced that horrible emotion because it's the worst thing ever. And so sometimes Kim would, you know, as any person would, react in like sort of an anger way, not towards anyone, but just like you're frustrated and that just comes out, obviously. And it started like scaring people. So I would be, and no one would say anything, obviously, because they don't want to like, they're like, what's going on? And so
because I'm really scary when I'm angry.
Yeah, and I already been there, done that. So I literally was the only one who could be like, you need to relax.
Yeah.
Because like, and you do need that. You also need the person who's gonna like tell you to like shut up.
Be real with you.
Yeah, because if not, then everyone's gonna hate you by the end of it, and that's not what you want.
Exactly.
And so I think that's why I really, really encourage working with people that already know you.
Yes.
Because
you need at least one or two, like 100%. Because if I didn't, I would no. But
because at first it was really scary how like the first one I was there for was the bedroom scene. I had to clean I didn't know anyone, right? And so
that was before I had my meltdowns though. I had anxiety, but the meltdowns happened like,
when was the first meltdown?
Like it started when we were on the outdoor restaurant scene. That's when it started going downhill.
I think
because we're still like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed on the first day.
Well, no, okay. This is gonna sound like I'm dragging you, but I'm not. Like, obviously, like
I really don't care. Mean Kim needs to be dragged.
Okay, so this is messy Kim that I'm gonna drag right now.
That's fine too.
Okay, so we had a scene in a bedroom. This is one of my favorite scenes. Like, once seeing it happen was so much fun, and I took some really good pictures.
That's like the only pictures from the set.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, but so it's a scene in a bedroom. It's just the main character, but Kim was like, "Oh, I cleaned my room." Like, she was so proud of it, and so we go in. And there was like 1 foot of square footage in the entire room that was like that you could stand in. And I like, obviously when you're thinking about it, you're just like, well, one person needs to fit in here. But in reality, like 6 people need to be in there.
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Yeah, like it just doesn't cross your mind.
No.
So I was like, Kim, 6 people need to fit in this room. And she literally was like panicking because like, again, we had to film something else outside. So I was like, you go.
And we needed some
These 2 girlies, come here. We're going to clean this room. And so that was the first time I met Kylie and Marilyn.
Oh wow!
So
what a bonding experience.
We bonded over the spoons on your floor.
Yeah.
And your passport.
I wish I could say I grew from that.
It was fun. I had so much fun. We rearranged the room
It was literally a whole new room.
She got in and was shocked because the floor was clear.
I wish you guys like recorded my reaction.
No, I don't know why we didn't take before or afters either.
Yeah.
Like, and it turned out great. It looks like a living space now, and you will see it. But it was still fun. Like, I don't think. Yeah. I think in the moment we were a little like annoyed, but like honestly, it was a lot of fun. Like,
it's always annoying in the moment, but then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, fun memory, and you made friends out of it.
Yeah, they were both on the podcast. So yeah, I think just having people that know you in conclusion for that section, because like you just need it. Because like when I was doing mine, like sometimes I would get like, you know, a little frustrated, obviously, and lash out. And you need someone to be there, like, knock it off. Because I don't know who you think you are, but you need to relax.
Yeah.
And so I needed someone to tell me that. So that's important.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens, yeah. Give me chances to. Are you?
I guess, like, I think on an amateur set, especially I think for me, because I didn't know some of the people that were on my set, because maybe they're like freshmen or like transfers, whatever. Giving chances to people to like show that they're ready, because if they come to your set and they want to help out as like a PA, they obviously are more than happy to be anywhere because they just want to see something happen and be a part of it and learn something, you know? So I think sometimes you're more than likely to just designate it to the person you always do. Mm-hmm. But I think it's okay to try it out. And if it doesn't, just try to redirect them to different things. Maybe that's not a director thing. Maybe that's a producer thing to overlook and just be like, okay, noted, that person should be, maybe they should try out script supervising, maybe they should try out whatever lights, whatever, because that's the whole thing, is like people are just trying to figure out where they want to be. So rotating people is kind of like what I mean by that, and having open communication, being like, oh, if you like that, definitely talk to me, and like we can figure out a way to like get you more involved.
And also like I completely forgot what I was just okay, hold on. I feel like giving that section, I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Because then you don't know, like if you're giving, oh my god, you're literally brain farting so hard. I think giving someone that chance and like building up, and also makes a new connection for you, and then maybe that's somebody you could work on a potential future project with.
Yes. What I was gonna say is that ties into this is you can't do everything yourself, and
I thought I could.
Yeah, and I thought I could too, and guess what? You can't. Spoiler alert, you can't. And
literally. What was it? The little presentation I did, and I said that, and you guys were like, whoa,
Kim did like a thing for her school where it was her and Katie, who was also in one of our episodes. She directed 1227, and they were just kind of talking about their experience, and they were encouraging other people to make their short films. And so I remember Darby and I were both listening. We were in the Zoom call, and Kim was like, oh yeah, you definitely have to learn that you have to like delegate and kind of spread the responsibilities throughout everyone there. And I literally like private messaged Darby, and I was like, we love character development, because Kim like, and I did the same thing when I was doing my first one. She wanted to do everything herself. She's like, I have to go do this. I'm like, literally I can do that. And she would not let me. And I was like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like you just have to trust that people can do things for you.
Yeah.
But we learned.
Yeah, clearly. We did now. And I think the reason why I was like that was because if it didn't come out the way I wanted to, I was just afraid of the confrontation that came out of that. Yeah. But you're just kind of
we were too. We were all scared of Kimzilla, but like it just had to happen. Like there was no other choice. Like
yeah, exactly. But there was like a lot of different factors that were into like the time.
We're simplifying it.
There was very much layers. I wasn't just a mean person for no reason. Yeah, there was a lot of things going on.
And that was like, Kimzilla was very rare. Most of the time, Kim was like just, getting it done. And then there was only
girl boss.
Yeah, she was girl bossing. And then I think she only like.
Sometimes I would just like, because I'm
get frustrated.
Yeah, I would put way too much on my plate. And then it would just. Then it spills over, and then you made a mess.
And yeah, period.
Planning it out. Whoa. Okay. Daniel was literally like my personal professor.
For some reason, I don't know how I even learned this, because I am a screenwriting major, but I took a film class, and oh my God, Deb, she's not listening, she told us to call her Deb. I love her so much. I also was like a PA, what's it called? TA for her one semester, because I literally love that class so much. But she basically was like, she taught us about storyboarding and overheads, and I thought that was like a very basic
CSUN is very much a more developed film program.
Yeah. And so when we started doing ATG, I was like, oh, did you storyboard this to Kim? And she was like, no. And I was like,
did you overhead? What's an overhead?
Yeah, and I was like, oh dear. And so for like the first couple of scenes, they still worked out, and we didn't really have a storyboard or anything. But then like once we started getting like stressed out, Kim was like, okay, storyboarding and overheads. So
oh my God, yeah. another tip, take pre-production seriously.
Yeet.
I thought I could gloss over it. Absolutely not. That's kind of the most important thing because it'll make your production go way smoother.
And like it's easier to explain. A lot of people are visual learners, so like if you have a piece of paper that shows how you want things to look, it will simplify everything instead of you trying to word it, because a lot of times people won't get that. So storyboarding is essentially little tiny pictures of each shot. They don't have to be fancy or anything. You can use stick figures. Just knowing what you want it to look like will help you a lot, and it'll also help
It'll help your DP and it'll help your editor. It helps
Yes.
every literal stage.
Yeah, and also it helps you like plan it out. So like let's say you're doing a scene in a theater, and there are a lot of scenes of the two people together. Let's say they're on a date, but there are also scenes of like people walking in and like everyone in the theater. You don't want to keep all of the theater goers, actors in that room the entire time if they're not even in camera. So you start with the wider scenes, and then you go to the last ones, which are the ones where it's just the two people. So the most amount of people to the least amount of people. But you won't know that unless you storyboard it and do a shot list and like really think about it. Because then you'll just try to like go in order of what the script says, and you'll have to relight and
I was really bad at that. I was so bad.
But once you got it down, it was like so much more efficient.
Yeah.
So like, and I just think that is a very important skill to have. And then overheads are essentially if you took a camera and put it above the room you're in, looking down, what everything would look like. And this helps your set designer. This helps your DP like know where to set up the cameras, where to set up the lights, and it just helps you.
And you can like Google like templates.
Yeah. There's so many resources online, but it also helps you understand how the characters move. Because you might have this scene where you're like, oh, this is going to be so exciting. And then you realize that like they're standing still for 15 minutes and that can't work. So you look at the room that they're in and you can kind of have them move around a little bit. It just helps the scene be more dynamic and a little bit more lively. And so I think those two things definitely very simplified.
Which I definitely think is like overlooked, and especially in short films. You kind of focus too much on like the dialogue and like getting that done. You don't think about like natural movements to make it feel like it's like a real scenario that's happening.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of short films, especially student short films, look very like I don't know what the word, like static-y. That's not the word. I don't know, just like boring. Sorry, I didn't want to use that word, but like because you don't really think about that when you are like in pre-production, but you really do have to think about it because it will make or break your film. Even the most like you could film it with an iPhone, but if you have these like skills down, it could look very professional. There's been professional movies shot on iPhones, so like you can't be like, oh, I don't have equipment. Like literally,
that's
film it with
true.
Your phone.
That's why I allowed myself to buy this iPhone 11 because I was like, I need to record something on it.
And also, like when we did the scene, I think it was the last scene of All That Glitters, and Kim was trying to explain because we had to do camera that day, and so Kim was trying to explain like what she wanted it to look like. I was like, okay, let's do it with my phone, and so we recorded the entire scene through, not with the actors, just like Kim going through it. Like we blocked out the scene with my phone, and it helped so much because like you can see exactly where the camera needs to be, and I don't know, it just helps shooting it with your phone too. It helps explain to your actors where they need to be and when the camera's going to see them and everything. But yeah, so plan it out. Please plan it out. I'm literally begging you. It will save you so much trouble. And another thing that will save you a lot of trouble is to feed your crew. So my first short film did not provide food. Big mistake.
Oh, really?
Well, because I didn't know what was going on. And so like I think
you're like, oh, people eat?
One time I brought pizza. It was like towards the end because I was like, this is out of control. I don't know what I was thinking. But I was also like a junior in high school. Like, I didn't have money. So like I know you think that that's like something that can be skipped, and no, it is not. Because if everyone's hungry and everyone's in a bad mood, nothing's gonna get done. But if everyone's fed and everyone's in a good mood because they just had like pizza, even you literally get a Little Caesars pizza and it's disgusting, but like they'll be fine.
Pizza is your best friend.
Yeah, and so I think you need
even on professional sets, I'll see like memes from like professional like film TikTok, and they're like, "Oh, pizza." And I'm just
honestly,
like,
I love pizza.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I will take a slice of cheap little pizza any day. But yeah, so feed your crew. Even if it's just snacks or like you're like, hey, something from my kitchen. I don't know if you're filming in your house, anything. Just please feed them. And then the last one we have written down.
I put follow through with your promises.
Okay.
And I think this just helps like with just being a good person overall. I think something that I think you should do, maybe making your producer do this, or like, I mean, it's definitely a conversation you should have with your producers, like what is going on, so you have somebody to like keep you on track, you know what I mean? But a lot of times people are volunteering their time for free or working for reels, credit, or just like plain experience. And just making sure that you follow through with your promises, I think will only come back to you in positive ways, because sometimes like when you say things, you kind of forget about it, but that person that you told won't forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say that you're going to have crafty that day, food that day, and you don't, then someone's going to be like, well.
Yeah, I remember like we would be filming, like, I'm still talking about All That Glitters, but like you would have told someone something and then they show up to the set with it and you're like so impressed because you like forgot. Like a lot of times Marilyn would like, she would like bring something, or like she thought of some makeup idea and you're like, literally I forgot that needed to get done. Yeah. But like that's what that person is thinking about. That's like the only
Marilyn was literally game changer.
Yeah.
Honorary producer.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
So I just think, yeah, like him said,
Marilyn was also, I didn't know Marilyn before this movie, and she was also really good at talking me down from the ledge.
Yeah.
She was so
Marilyn
good.
is so good at like
Angel. Real life Angel.
I was so impressed because I'm not good at it. Like I'm good at like telling him to like stop yelling, but I'm not good at like dealing with like emotions. And so one day she had a really bad
it was a breakdown, like full on anxiety.
It was weeks coming along.
Yeah, like I definitely had been suppressing it for a month at this point.
Yeah, and
we all knew it was coming.
I didn't expect it to happen on set, but like in retrospect, it was gonna happen.
To be fair, on that day on set was
a disaster from start to finish. Oh, we didn't even shoot anything that day.
No.
And like I changed the doorknob, like it
was a fatty mess.
Yeah, and so
PHAT.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember like, can I say this? Like what happened?
Yeah,
Not
I don't
like
care.
Who did, but like so essentially like Kim was like done and she left and started crying and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? Because like I did not know that was gonna happen. And so like I literally
nobody knew.
Everyone was still in the set and like you were outside with
for like 20 minutes.
Like Marilyn and Darby, I think. And I was like, I went back inside and I was like, hey guys, so I think that's gonna be everything for today. It's just
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, it was so awkward because it was quiet and none of them were talking to each other in there. It was so uncomfortable because like no one saw it coming, even though in retrospect it was coming.
Yeah,
and it should have been known.
I think because I think some people didn't notice what was going on. So once I like explained to people what was happening, because I did like after I was like, just to clarify my actions, like this is what was going on,
and they understood,
and they were like, oh yeah. Sorry, babe. Like, I'm so sorry you had to do that. And yeah, I had a full-on mental breakdown.
But it was okay.
I think that was like one of the biggest mental breakdowns, like definitely top 5 of my life. Mental breakdowns.
Okay.
100%. Maybe top 3, babe. Like,
yeah, it was definitely up there.
Bad. But then it ended up nice. Like, we all like shared stories at the end.
Yeah, we went to Starbucks.
Yeah, we had a good time. We turned it around. I think Marilyn turned it around single-handedly.
She literally did because I was not there. Because you were sobbing. I
like,
left.
Couldn't breathe. Like,
yeah,
not,
like gasping for breath. So I left. Was like, hey guys, hey besties, we're not filming today.
Hey,
and I like basically like dismissed the class. And I went back outside and they were like laughing. I was like, what did I miss, guys? But,
yeah.
Like Marilyn handled that perfectly.
Yeah.
So see what I mean?
Like Marilyn was like leading, and then Darby was like assisting.
Yeah.
Like it was
like cheerleading.
Yeah. She was like egging on like the positive energy, and I was like, this is what I needed. Because I think in like that moment, I just needed to like somebody to like confirm my feelings, because I felt like I was like, I kind of felt crazy, to be honest. Because I didn't really, because I was trying not to make it a big deal, but it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
And I tried not to like talk about it, and that was like my biggest fault.
Not a good
and
plan.
I just needed people to confirm like my feelings were valid and I wasn't like being rash or anything. I mean, in that moment I was being rash, but overall
not really, honestly. Like, really, I'm honestly surprised you kept it in that long.
Honestly, same.
Because
honestly, same.
Well, first of all, I didn't even notice what was going. Can we even talk about this without saying what was happening?
No.
Okay. Anyway, well, I didn't really notice what was going on.
I don't think anybody did to the.
No, because like that's not what
I really tried to water it down because I was the only person experiencing it.
Yeah, like no, I was like cleaning your room, and like this was happening to you. So like I think, I don't know. I think that's why I'm like.
I think it did clarify why I was being such a monster, though. Like once that kind of came to the light.
Yeah.
It sounds so ominous. It's not that big.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep anymore.
But we just
water under the bridge at this point. But at the moment, I think for everybody, once I like talked through what I was feeling in that moment, everyone was like, "Oh, that's why she's being a raging bitch." And also, once it was over,
I was about to say
once I had that cathartic moment, it was all uphill from there.
Well, I'm in a pandemic, but no, I was about to say that. I was like, once you let it all out, the next like other scene, like the rest of the scenes that we shot, literally went perfectly.
Yeah.
Like there were some like things that we couldn't help that happen,
but I handled it much more efficiently.
Yeah, and like also
like take a beat.
We dealt with the problem, and like there was no problem anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a good time. So yeah.
Basically, that also ties back into like having reliable friends, and I think following through with your, I don't know, we totally went off on that.
Yeah, I was like, where are we?
We're on the last one. I think, yeah, we went on a whole tangent. Anyways, I think just making sure you're providing the needs to the people that are helping you make your vision come true is like very much important. And like if that helps writing it down, because I am very much forgetful. I very much will forget. So writing it down is very helpful.
Yeah.
Or like telling your producer, hey, I need to do this. Can you write that down and we'll get there. We'll get
literally just tell them to do it and they'll do it. Because like a lot of times people are just waiting for instructions. They're just sitting there and you're like, well, what are you doing? But it's like there are things that need to get done. You just like,
you kind of forget that you're the one in charge sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I hope that answered any questions you may have. I know that's kind of chaotic, but that's what making a short film is like. Literally all over the place.
Honestly, yeah.
So yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to let us know on either one of our Instagrams or on our Hollywood Instagram, which is at @our_Hollywood. Or you can let us know on our TikTok, which is @our_Hollywood. It's okay. It's
it'll
improving.
happen.
It's improving, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm working towards it. I didn't want to do like TikTok clips, but honestly, TikTok is where it's at, whether we like it or not.
It's true.
And so that's what we're doing. What else do we need to plug? Oh, it's because usually we get the guests to plug, but there's anything else to plug? Oh, the YouTube channel. So Our Hollywood on YouTube. I'm gonna start. I think only half of season 1 is on there so far. Everything else is going on there. There are a couple episodes left out due to like recording problems when we were making them, but other than that, the majority of our episodes will be in video format on our YouTube channel. So if you are a visual learner and you want to see our outfits, because honestly, we theme our outfits a lot of the time.
You definitely do.
Yeah, I think about it really
like hard. You have like a t-shirt for like every occasion. It really every time he opens the door, I'm like, oh wow.
I have a cabinet, like a literal dresser full of just t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I gotta put them to good use. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Yeah, keep up with us on Instagram to know when ATG comes out. It's really our baby. It's really
it'll be out soon.
Labor of love, blood, sweat, and tears.
And anger and rage and frustration and joy and hormones. I don't really all kinds of hormones.
Levels to it.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
No, we're taking a break next week.
I was like, wait, no, we won't see. We'll see you the week after that because it's spring break. Well, at least for me it is.
I'm spring break all the time for me.
Okay, fine.